Hey guys, welcome back to Column Connection. I'm Will, and we're joined by the Fossil. He was away last week, and I hope you're feeling better, along with a few of our followers there. Fossil, how are you going this week?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks, Will. Yeah, done a magnificent job last week, William, flying solo. Very good job. But yeah, Foss feels a lot better, thank you. But it's bloody nice and cool down here. I tell you what, William, she'd free the balls off a brass monkey down here. It's bloody freezing.
Oh, don't worry, it's not too bad up here. I'm in Wangaratta area, and yeah, we had a bit of a cool breeze come through, but I heard Melbourne's copping it, and I think light showers expected on Saturday, but it shouldn't interrupt the footy too bad. So hopefully it's a nice weekend, especially for our Magpies. So welcome everyone to the preview episode for the round nine clash between Geelong and Collingwood. That's Saturday, 7:35 at the MCG. It's a traditional top eight battle, Fossil. It's sixth versus eighth, and yeah,
Yes.
should be a cracking clash. They seem to have some pretty good contests. The Pies haven't had the wood over Geelong for a little bit, so hopefully they can get a win on the board and give us a nice weekend.
Yeah, well, that's right. Well, yeah, hopefully they can keep up their good form, like they've seemed to got the forward line act together a bit now. Well, we kicked a couple of decent scores in the last 2 weeks. So, yeah, no, they're always a tough game against Geelong. They're a very good football side, but yeah, the conditions shouldn't be too bad, but I'm sure they're good enough to adjust to them. But, the Pies have been playing very good as a team, so hopefully we can get another win on Saturday.
Yeah, it'd be nice after a draw, which we can take it is a draw, but should we have won? Should Hawthorn, if they had a kick straight? But we'll take the 2 points as underdogs with all those players out. I think the guys did a great job. So if they play like that each week, I think we'll trouble a lot of the opposition and contend with those top teams. So anyway, I've got Geelong, the opposition this week. Only the one change for them. Reece Stanley, the old-time ruckman, comes in for Mitchell Edwards. I did think that would be an advantage for the Pies, especially if he didn't come in, but Geelong have obviously looked at that and thought that Steen and Cameron might cause some havoc, so chucked in all reliable Stanley. And Geelong themselves, they defeated North last week at Alphabet Stadium by 49 points. Incredibly, they trailed the 22nd minute mark of the third quarter, so it just shows you how good that cat side is, and they're very tough to beat. They piled on the goals in the fourth quarter and just took the game away from the Kangaroos. So they stand now at 5-3, a pretty decent record considering they got smashed by the Gold Coast in round zero, and they had a shock loss to Port Adelaide. So we know this side bounces back as they did once again, and you can never write off the Cats. So yeah, that's one thing you should take to the bank. And a big out for them, which they've had now for a couple or a week or so. But Mark Blitzarves, he usually plays pretty well against the Pies, so I think that's an advantage for us. But bringing in Stanley, and they'll have De Koning in that ruck contest. So the midfield is a big battle this week, Fossil, and hopefully they can get the job done.
Yeah, yeah, that's true, William. Yeah, they got a bit of height there. The Coney's 204 and Stanley's 200. But I think, the way Steen and Cameron are playing, they probably had to bring him in, to try and help each other out because that'll be a good duel actually. But both our ruckmen are in good form, so hopefully they can carry it on Saturday.
Exactly, and well, the Collingwood changes, Fossil. If you want to run us through
Yeah,
those.
yeah, we got three good ones in, William. We got Howe, McQuarrie, and Pendles are back. Three big ins, and unfortunately, Perryman got injured. Will, I had him earmarked to probably tag Smith, so they might have to change a bit of tack there. And out also Parker and young Hayes. I think Hayes was a bit stiff. I thought they might have kept him in, being a bit wet and it's a smaller player, but they obviously know what they're doing. But yeah, so that'll make us a lot stronger, and we can share the workload around. But yeah, it's great to see him back into the side. So hopefully that'll make us stronger, and we can be very competitive with Geelong.
Yeah, well, the big bodies of Geelong, that's really the test. And I do trust the selectors. I think Hayes and Parker, your boy Parker, he can't seem to get a good run at it. But Jeremy Howe coming back, obviously, that complements our back line with Frampton and Moore. It's good to see the three of them working together. Frampton's in not that he's liked by many people, but all Australian conversation. If he wasn't playing for Collingwood, he'd be getting spoken about in that light. So, awesome job so far, Billy and Darcy Moore. He's only going to get better. That timing of jumping and spoiling each other last week, that's going to come with time, and I'm sure they've been working on that a lot. So no, it's unfortunate for the young fellas, Parker and Hayes. And Hayes, like you said, a bit of a lean body, and hopefully it's just a week or so, but he was getting a lot of confidence, and yeah, he was really playing his role well. So well done to Will, but it looks like he's going to have to find some touch in the VFL and hopefully be knocking on the door to be recalled for selection. My key matchup for this week. So, like you said, Fossil without Perryman, who has been doing an awesome job and tagging, and arguably we could have won last week, the job he was doing on Watson. But I'm thinking maybe side bottom the tagger. Obviously hurt his hand and he's pulled through okay. It's I thought he might be rested this week, but obviously he's pulled up well enough. And instead of Bailey Smith, I actually reckon Holmes is the most dangerous one there. Fossil. He had his best game of the year last week, so he's found touch right in time for the Pies as usual. 29 disposals and 2 goals, 802 meters gained. So Holmes is in top form, and Sidebottom proved last week that running around with Sicily and did a great job on him. So I reckon Sidebottom, he did a bit of this in 2024 for the first half of the year, and then they let him loose in the second half. So yeah, I think he can do the job. Obviously, we know he can run all day, and if he can stay with Holmes and limit his impact to 20 odd disposals and not much impact around the ground, I think that'll go a long way to the Pies winning.
Yeah, no, that's a good call, Will. Good call. Yeah, well, my key matchup, Will, is I think Darcy will have to go to Cameron. I think he averages between 3 to 4 goals a game against this Cameron. He seems to like playing against the Pies. So I think, like you said, I think he'll get better with each game. But I think, Cameron he might cover too much ground for Frampton. So I'd have Darcy Moore on to Cameron to try and keep him quiet, and probably Frampton will probably take Neil, the other big forward. So that's my key matchup, to see if Darcy can sort of keep him quiet. And, we've got to put pressure on the ball carriers coming into Geelong's 50, but that's my key matchup, more on the Cameron.
Yeah, no, I like it. Fossil, they're very much like for like, and Jezza just seems to have some good games against us. There was that famous game where he was 5 meters outside the boundary line, and the umpires didn't call play on or anything like that. So hopefully they're really strict on those basic rules this week. The umpires haven't had the greatest run this year, so fingers crossed. But I think we match up well, to be honest. Jeremy Howe as well. So Frampton and Moore take those key positions, and Jeremy Howe will come in. And yeah, hopefully they can just get a good run under their belt. These three together, it'd be good. So the predictions, Fossil. We'll move on. I'll start off this week. The most disposals are your boy Joshy Dacos. I think he's going to hit back with 30. He had 23 last week and was a little bit off. So, and the Hawks obviously put a bit of time into him. So hopefully he breaks the chains off half back and maybe even goes up to the midfield and gets a bit more in the clearances. So Josh Dacos with 30, to go with 3 goals, the big time play. He had an awesome first half last week, and then he sort of dropped off. So to go with 3, and Collingwood to win by 10 points, because Scott Pendlebury is equaling that record on Saturday Fossils. So can't wait for the breaking game. But yeah, Collingwood by 10 points for me.
Well, that's good, William. Great minds think alike, William, because I've got Joshy with 27 disposals. I think he'll have a good game. And like you said, if he goes into the midfield there for a little while, he might add to his tally, but he's playing well. Elliott with 3 goals, William. My boy, he's back in form. I think he'll have a big one. And I think the Pies will win by 16 points.
1 goal, like maybe a goal on the siren Fossil to make it 16. But I think I'm just gonna check you into Elliot for 3 goals every week. I think I don't think you're ever gonna change
No,
from that unless he's not playing. So
he's the 5 ball, Billy. He's all right, my boy. He'll be right in amongst them. Don't worry about that.
nah,
But no, it should be a good game. But like, it's good to see that they're hitting the scoreboard. Like, they kicked 2017, and I think 15-3, I think it was, for the draw last week. So at least they're getting some goals on the board, which is a good sign. After all the back line doing the good work, and they're getting repaid up in the forward line, which is great for the team.
yeah, exactly. It's well, everyone likes to say, "Oh, the Pies can't score," but I tell you what, as long as we win Fossil, I don't care. It could be it could be 60 to 70 and Collingwood win. A win's a win. It's 4 points at the end of the day. So they can say whatever we want. The last few years, we've been one of the best defensive sides. So as long as we're winning, I don't think that really matters, And they'll say, oh, you need to find goals come finals time. Well, you got to qualify first. So let's qualify and then they can go from there. The competition, guys, so the game day competition, it's heating up again, Fossil. We're up to $60 now. So we had a close call last week. I think they were three disposals off. So $60. We'll drop that later tonight or maybe even tomorrow morning. So we'll select two players for the disposals, so just a total, and three players for the goals. I chuck in Fossil's boy Elliot there. I think he might kick a couple. So just to keep everyone interested in that one, Fossil. So yeah.
You're spot on there, Will. He'll be right. He'll be all right. He's starting to hit form now. Beautiful.
All right, guys, and I will say, sorry, Flag Pies is a group on Facebook, so if you're not following yet, give us a like, and you'll find our content, our videos, along with other Magpie-related stuff. And with our videos, give us a like, a share, a subscription, subscribe, and tell your friends all about us. We just like to talk about the pies, and we'll keep it rolling. The more of you that subscribe to the channel, so thanks for that, and thanks for the guys that tune in each week. Some quick fire questions for your Fossil just to finish off. I know you like a good quiz, so I want you to think about value here, Fossil. So if you had to choose one or the other for 2027, think about the playing list: Lockie Neal or Zach Butters.
I'd take Butters.
He's long term, so
Yeah,
interesting
Zach
that.
Butters. Because what's Lockie? Is he 33 or 34? What? I
uh,
can't remember the
early,
age.
early,
The age
early,
difference.
early 30s, but he's getting
Yeah,
there. So yeah,
yeah. But no, yeah, I'd take Butters.
Zach
Butters for
Butters.
long term.
All
Well,
right,
yeah.
Ben King or Nate Cuddy.
Caddy.
Fair enough.
I think he's got a lot of upside. I think he'd look beautiful down there in black and white in the pocket down in the forward line there, Will he? No, I think Caddy's got a pretty good future, and I think he'll only improve. And with the delivery, if the boys can deliver the ball to him, he'd look very good in a Collingwood jumper. So I'd
I'm
take
I'm
Caddy.
sure I'm sure you'd rub the salt in the wounds at work as well. You wouldn't let those Bombers supporters forget. So hopefully,
I think DP left with him, they'd all bloody shoot himself, I reckon.
oh, fair enough. Thoughts on the golden jersey for Pendles for the record-breaking game in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good idea, Will, a good marketing thing. I think that they'll probably sell about 500,000 jumpers with the gold 10 on it.
Yeah,
No, I think
yeah.
it's outside the square and it's a big milestone, so I think it's a great idea with the gold number 10.
Well,
We'll see
it's something. Yeah,
yeah, go on.
I was gonna say it's something a little bit different, and there's a lot of this quirky stuff in sports. And initially, I wasn't really sure about it. It's just highlighting it. But in my eyes, if Pendlebury's happy with it, and he might have come up with the idea, I don't know exactly who did. But if he's happy with it and he wants to wear it, then I say go for it. You only break that record once, and hopefully you can keep going to make it very hard for someone else to do that in the future. So
Yeah,
we'll
exactly right, Will.
they'll
I
have
think the
to.
club will do all right out of it, Will. I think with the gold 10s, mate, they'll be selling each when they come out.
Uh,
I'm
I
telling you.
I think they're doing all right against West Coast, as we all assume, 60,000 up to 90,000 people. So yeah, no, well done for the marketing. They know what they're doing. And the last one, Fossil, will finish off. If you had to choose one, you have to choose to have a drink with Andrew Dillon or Kevin Sheedy.
You'll kid me, aren't you? You're Kevin Sheedy, William. Kevin Sheedy. Oh, do you
Yeah.
know the old Sheeds? I actually met him once, William, up in Doncaster when you guys were playing basketball. Kevin? Yeah, yeah. I'd have one with Sheeds for sure.
I didn't know you've already met him, so you might have that beer with Andrew Dillon Fossil. So
Yeah, no,
you might have to
would be
you'll have
able
to give him a piece of your mind, maybe.
yeah, well, I'll tell you what, mate, I've got plenty to say to you about the old Sheeds. He's a beautiful person, lovely man. Oh, yeah, I had the honour of meeting him. Yeah, so I'd have one with Sheeds.
Fair enough. All right, guys, that's our preview episode. Let's hope the Pies can do the right thing and get the job done. I'm feeling confident, Fossil. So hopefully the boys are too, and they can give us a cracking game on Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. We'll go, Pies.
Go Pies. See you guys. Bye.
See you, Will. Bye.